it up. All right, we're back. All right, we're back again for another episode of Bikes and Brews.
And this one's probably going to be a little bit divisive.
Could be.
Yes.
I like when we pick this. He's been drinking since 3 o'clock yesterday. Wait, this story gets getting better. 3 a.m.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Story gets longer and longer.
I like it. So this is Mr. RJ, Raging Jackhammer. I'm Carl, one of your hosts, and we have.
And I'm Ryan.
Yes, we're back. So what do we have today here, boys? Another one from the rising sun. Why is that so funny?
Well, technically, the other one didn't exist.
Do you understand that?
That episode never saw the light of day.
Oh.
The soy sauce beer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but that's okay. Anyways, we're going to do this. This is Sapporo, and this is a classic. Normally in America, when you have Sapporo, this is one of your options for sushi.
It's sushi beer.
Sushi beer.
This is sushi.
The only time I've seen people drink it.
Ramen.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. It's not something that you normally reach for if you're just like, let's watch a football game.
Yeah. So Sapporo.
You're not going to watch the Packers game with a Sapporo?
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers going out for, Taylor Swift.
Brett Favre loves a Sapporo.
Brett Favre loves a Sapporo. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So, I don't have my glasses on. Help me out here. What are we dealing with here? It's a premium beer. I saw that. What kind of alcohol are we dealing with here?
We have 4.9%.
Okay. It's pretty standard.
That's almost half of what we just had.
So, are we drinking a lager or are we drinking a pilsner?
Pretty sure that this is a lager.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
It's not quite as light as
the
3 o'clock a.m. He started.
perfectly balanced taste
3 o'clock a.m. He
that's
started drinking.
irresistible to all as you share rich moments with
Just
this
going with this one.
masterpiece of the brewer's art.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was very sophisticated, RJ.
That was hard without my glasses.
Okay. Let's see how Mr. Beechner pours this beer. Not bad. Not bad.
There you go. Any day now, RJ.
So, tell me
working on it.
about the history of Sapporo, please.
Oh, it's from Japan.
Yeah, thank you.
They're an island in the Pacific.
Okay, are you
Just-
sure?
Yes, just south of Russian territory. They're actually still engaged in one of the longest-running military conflicts in modern history.
Okay.
Aside from that, they brew it with water and beer ingredients.
Rice?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
What do you think?
I think that's kind of
There are lagers that use rice,
sure.
but you don't think Sapporo is one of them.
I'm not gonna bet on that one now.
Okay. All right. Let's take a swig and see what we got. Cheers. Oh, cheers.
It smells like beer.
Ooh. What does that smell?
Beer.
No, it does smell like beer, but
That's beer.
do I smell like licorice? Is that me?
Ooh, some anise.
Yeah.
Make sure you got the leather.
I don't know what that smell is. I cannot put my finger on it. Because the last beer we drank had, like, obviously citrus hints and everything.
That's just beer.
Yeah, but what does that smell like to you? What does beer smell like to you? If you were to say, walk up to a 10-year-old kid who never had a beer in their life and explain to them what it smells like.
I would just get a beer and be like, smell this.
Maybe that's the premium ingredient.
It smells like premium.
What does premium smell like?
Licorice.
Oh, premium is licorice to you.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's.
It's drinkable.
I could use a
It's got a little bit of a. It's got a little bit more bite than I was expecting. A little bit more of an like a raw alcohol flavor.
Mm-hmm.
without maltiness like kind of surrounding it or anything.
If I had to do like a taste test, and you had a bunch of other beers we've tried, and then you gave me this, and then said, okay, there's 5 beers on that table. They're all poured in glasses, and I've got to find the same one that I just drank. I couldn't do it.
That's legit. It's a pretty typical lager.
It's a beer.
It's a beer. Well, a generalized beer, because beer means different things to different people. But this is your run-of-the-mill, what you buy from the supermarket beer. You can't tell the difference.
Came from Ralph's.
Yeah. Okay. Or like, I don't know where I was going with that one. Okay.
Nowhere
Anyways,
fast.
What's your review of this? Like number? What's your numeric value for this one?
It's a 5.
A 5?
It's a 5.
Okay. All right. So pretty.
A 10 would be
bad. A 5 is a bad.
Average.
No.
No, average is like 7. It's a C.
All right.
Sort of. I don't know where the.
You ever seen a bell
We've never
curve?
defined our gauge. We're really bad.
You ever seen a bell curve? It doesn't focus at 7.
All right, but if you get a 70 on your report card, that's a C.
Yeah, but a 50 is an F.
Right.
You didn't ask me for a letter grade.
You said this was.
You said out of 1 to 10.
And you gave it a 50, which is an F.
You're using a different scale.
We never defined the scale.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give it. What did I just give it? 5?
So you're saying average is 5.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
I'm saying 6.
I'm gonna give this a 6.5.
Okay.
Because I like a lager,
Shocked it wasn't.
and this isn't a bad lager.
We should find a bad lager because I'd love to try and find the difference.
Something tells me there's one creeping up in this one of these days.
Oh, is that other one of those?
It could be.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We could be telling. Okay.
Well, I'm interested then.
Okay. So let's move on, shall we?
Alrighty.
We shall.
This one is going to be fun.
What are we talking about?
We've got a list of bikes, and this list of bikes, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a grade, a tier list. If you
And
will.
some of this is totally shoot from the hip. We have no
Yes.
scientific value. This is all our personal interpretation
Yes.
of what each tier is. So what you're...
Okay.
We
so
got to
we're-
define the tiers now.
Okay. So at the top,
Because
top we're gonna do it.
50 is average. That's a C.
Yeah. So it's gonna be standard internet tier list format, which you're old, so you probably haven't seen it. It's and
I'm on Facebook.
okay, Grandpa, let's go. So okay, the top is S tier, special, super. It's the top.
Okay.
Okay, then you've got your normal letter scale after that: A, B, C, D, F.
And F is like a 1.
F would be just bottom of the barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
S would be outstanding,
plus,
best of the best.
Like special classes.
yeah, like you would put that above and beyond anything else in the scale.
Okay.
A is something it's excellent, but it's just missing that tiny bit.
With a little panache.
Yes, but you would never have anything bad to say about it.
Okay.
And we all know what a B is. It's what you rate every beer.
Everything. Snowman.
Yes. And then the C, D is pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
All right, so
All right. So
what do you want to start it
let's
off
start with the S's.
with? All right, so
And you got to say why. You have to say why. You can't just say this.
no. We'll start. We'll throw out a brand, and you guys tell me which
Okay, let's do that.
where it goes on the list.
Okay. And we're specifically talking about
Road.
race road bikes, right?
Yes.
We're going to limit it to that because we're not going to open up
You
junior
can
bikes and
you can use TT bikes as a modifier if you'd like. You
you
can
can put an asterisk
you can include their TT bikes to bring them up.
to sway it or either way.
Either way.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay. First
no,
one.
No Bronsons.
Yeah, the high tower is a shit road bike.
Totally.
All right, we'll start with
Does gravel bike count as a brand?
what? That's a category of bike.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not using that
As a brand.
if it's not being used in a road race.
Okay.
So if it's
What about a Paris-Roubaix bike?
yeah, of course, totally fine.
It's a different bike.
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can a gravel bike be then?
You're not using those. And how many times has the Pro Peloton used a gravel bike?
Nobody's riding a Paris-Roubaix bike other than a Paris-Roubaix.
That's fine.
You see where I'm going with this?
No.
You're only riding a gravel bike if you're doing gravel. You're only riding a Paris-Roubaix bike if you're riding Paris-Roubaix. Otherwise, you're riding a road bike.
Half the teams don't use their endurance bike at Roubaix anymore anyhow.
True.
So it's like if you think that, the specialized Roubaix is just...
But you could say that
Chef's
about you could say that about gravel. Some of those guys are on their road bikes on the gravel bike.
Of course.
Okay.
But we're not rating gravel bikes. It's road race bike brands.
I just wanted to see where you went with this.
Alrighty, first one. Let's start things. Let's start things real easy.
All right.
Ridley.
Ooh. A B.
Really?
I like Ridley's, but I think they haven't done anything. Go ahead. So I'm sorry.
I'll say C.
A C.
Kind of average, yeah.
You're kind. I was gonna go D.
Really?
Who lusts after a Ridley?
I liked
Besides
Ridley's.
Carlos.
Carlos did, but he
Not
he
anymore.
upgraded. He
That was
doesn't-
confirmation bias.
I did like 5-10 years when they were in their heyday. They were like one of the bigger brands, and they were on the tour and everything. And they were like when
Yeah, people thought Diddy was a really good rapper too, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But that I would have put that as one of my A bikes, Ridley.
Really?
Yeah, I liked what they because I liked the Belgian aspect. I liked their outlines. I liked everything. That's like when what's his name? What's the Australian sprinter? Cadell Evans? Not Cadell.
Caleb Ewan?
Caleb. Wow, I was way off.
Yeah, the first two letters.
Samsonite. I was way off. When he was riding that era, when he was in his heyday, I liked those bikes. But the problem is they haven't changed since.
I was gonna say, can you name any of their current models?
Right. No. But when they were better than a lot of the bikes that were out there, and I liked the Belgian aspect that they were all around really good for a lot of things. They were light. They were good for sprinting. They were good for climbing. They did everything really well. They had a great silhouette. I just liked them.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got B.
I've got a B because they've
got
only
C.
knocked down one spot for me.
And I've got D for lack of anything.
We
Okay.
should probably move on.
All right. Let's go Bianchi.
I think they've fallen off even more. I'm going to give them
hell
a
yes.
C or a D. I'm going to give them a C minus.
Okay, RJ, what do you got?
I'll say C.
I think I'd go C also. They've fallen so
Yeah,
they're
bad.
I'm normally a disc brake fan. Ever since the whole rise of disc brakes, that brand has gone in the toilet.
Yeah,
But they have a lot of cool history.
That's the only thing that's making them C minus. I really liked the old Celeste. I drooled over the Celeste bikes that they had back in the day.
Yep.
Like when Pantani and all those guys were riding variations of them or whatever. That era.
Yeah.
They were in there, like that was the drool over bike. And even prior to that, 10 years previous to that. Ever since then, they've been just slowly, gradually doing this.
No, it's been a sharp drop off.
Well, the one they came out with this year where that whole front end of that bike.
Oh, the Cervelo S5 we have at home.
Yeah. But just all that stuff that they were doing, they're convincing everybody it's
The
better.
fork flaps and
Yes.
the stem
It
that
is
doesn't.
so bunch of garbage marketing. And I'm going to say it garbage, as in the toilet. And I'm like, you just try to plate me like a pile of shit and say it's great. Eat this. Yeah.
Any strong feelings, RJ?
No, not on Bianchi's. I haven't ridden one.
All right, let's go to one that'll be a little bit more polarizing. Trek.
That's a tough one because
Because you're about to offend half of America right
I
now.
know. It's just so vanilla.
Culty at the same
And
time.
I don't mean it in a good way. Like it's just so like what you'd expect, like the most. It's a Pontiac.
Oof. Ooh. Yikes. All right, RJ, where are you at on Trek?
I'll say B minus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, you never gave it a Give it a
I'm
give it a
borderline CD.
Really?
I think the only thing that would push it into a C is that it actually probably rides okay. It's probably a decent riding bike. It's probably a good, solid working bike. But everything about the brand and everything, I just cannot get on board with.
Okay.
The aura around the bike, the marketing hoopla, the outline, the silhouette of the bike. There's nothing about it I like go, whoa, did you see that bike? That's a cool looking bike.
Okay. So let's pick one that'll be equally polarizing then. Specialized.
That one's harder because I think they're actually doing some innovative stuff.
Like what?
Well, I think some of the aero stuff they did and everything was interesting. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but it's interesting. It's on the forefront. I think they're balancing that with weight and everything is legitimate. But when they put out stuff where
they've done the best job of the one bike to rule them all.
Right.
Transitioning from, hey, we have a dedicated aero bike.
We have this aero bike, but it's still like weighs nothing. It's light. You can sprint on it the whole bit. But what tears it down big time for me is like Zert's inserts. Exactly. And that was like the best thing since sliced bread when they came out. And I was like, same thing as Bianchi. I'm not buying it.
So
they proved to me because it does not exist at all.
So how do you feel about the Future Shock?
Same thing. Same thing. I'm not a big fan of Specialized, although I own a Specialized, but I own a mountain bike.
Okay. RJ.
Yeah.
Oh wait, give him a grade.
Grade?
B-.
Okay. Fair.
I'll say B+.
Really?
Yeah.
I think their SL7's a really good bike,
Yes,
but everything else.
Do they sell that anymore?
Like Chevrolet makes a nice car.
Do they?
You know what I mean?
Dude,
but the rest of the brand brings it down big time. They've made a lot of really questionable designs. Maybe because of a lot of it has to do with mountain biking for me. Because they've come out with a lot of really, like, this is the best thing ever. And then, like, in 2 years, it's absolutely gone.
The brain?
And they're like, yeah, the brain. They did the downhill bike with, like, all these different bars in the back. And then they did the, when they had the 24 in the back and the 26 in the front. And, like, they did all these weird stuff.
So they've been doing mullet bikes forever.
They've been doing the greatest bike in the world until next year, and then nobody hears about that bike ever again.
That's okay. So my thing with Specialized, I think their product is better than their company. I'm
the other way around. I do not believe
No,
in
for me, I think their product is probably some of the best. I don't think there's really a lot of arguing with that if you look at like their race results and marketing and all that shit.
I'd argue with you. Maybe they get away with slipping a couple of those by us, but they've had so many failures.
Oh no, so what I put against Specialized and the reason that I kind of avoid them whenever I can is because
cranks.
No. No, No, for me, it's like when they were suing some dude who had a cafe because it was named the Roubaix Cafe.
Oh yeah.
But then then Fuji gets involved and they're like, hey guys, actually we own that and you're licensing it from us. It's just like corporate bullying, which is shitty.
Yeah.
And then
the bike shop bullying where you carry all this brand and then if you don't carry enough, then we're gonna rate it. Yeah, there's so much about that brand I do not like.
It's more of a mob than it is a bicycle brand.
Yes, absolutely. Anyways, I'm not a big fan, but they do make good stuff. Like I'm riding their Stump Jumper Evo on the dirt. Yeah. And it's a great bike.
No, and I have their.
And I'm sure their
Levo.
SL7's a great bike, but then they said that 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden they had a bunch of recalls.
Yeah, there's that.
You know what I mean? That's like I'm always waiting and I'm cringing for when the next Specialized recall is going to happen.
Yeah.
Or their shock on their Roubaix bike needs to be serviced and warranted and recalled.
Yeah, I mean
Zert's inserts. Zert's inserts.
Ray, you have a bike with Zert's, don't you?
Nope.
Not
did
anymore.
you used to? Who did?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Zert's inserts seat post.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're on the seat post and the seats.
It's
all
a
right.
piece of like pliable plastic.
It's rubber. It's a rubber bung in carbon.
It's like they were like, this is the most innovative thing and everything, and you're like, it's a piece of rubber in the middle of carbon.
The one on the seat post actually wasn't a Zert insert. People would take those out just for looks. This-
Oh yeah, didn't you change
That's
your
not
seat post
helping.
yeah.
to the cobble gobbler or something?
No,
vague?
that's what it came with. But I got the. Whatever.
And then the seat stays would have this like, and then
Yeah.
have like,
They had a fucking chicane in the seat stay.
yeah, and then the fork had the same thing, and it's like Zert's insert, and you're like, this is the best thing ever, and it's going to revolutionize the industry.
Okay. All right, we've given them enough time.
Okay,
Canyon.
I'm not opinion about it.
Yeah, no, clearly there's no strong opinion there. Canyon. What do we got?
A minus.
Whoa,
Only because I own one.
All right, so your opinion doesn't count. Carl, rant me about Canyon.
B plus.
Really?
I think their bikes are really good. They're not like anything pizzazz about it. They're nice, they're good, they work well and everything.
They have a great search engine optimization. They've gone hard on SEO.
I don't have a problem with their whole like business model of like selling direct to, that's not
No,
really
that's
a big
gonna.
deal.
I don't have any.
It's the evolution of where things are going, so I can't really knock them for that one. They were one of the first to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about that's not really a huge decision when I buy a bike.
Yeah.
But just the aura around it, they don't really have a history, like a long history and everything. But at the same time, I don't think it hurts them that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sticking to where my value is for them.
Okay. We won't mention any of their recalls in the last 5 years.
They're not an A or an S. Okay. Wait, what did you give them a rating?
No.
Canyon? I haven't given any of them a rating. I've been skating by on this.
Let's hear it, buddy.
Let's hear
All
it.
right, who have we had so far? I'll rattle them off real quick.
Please, Bianchi.
Okay, Bianchi. Oh no,
Ridley.
I think I gave Bianchi a C. Ridley's a D. We had Specialized and Trek.
Trek.
I would put both Specialized and Trek in the same category because I found people who don't like Trek or don't like Specialized.
I like Specialized more than Trek. I'll just make that clear. But I gave it.
Specialized has better marketing. Trek is a little bit more like
Okay.
good old country boys.
Yeah. Okay. Which I don't relate to.
No, exactly. But like Jason loves Trek.
I think he really likes that bike. It works for him.
Trek travel, bro. Trek travel.
And it does work.
That's all he talks about. Trek travel.
He likes Trek travel, and he likes the bike. He sits on it and goes, I'm really comfortable on
No,
this.
and
So I'm like,
and
okay.
Full disclosure, I mean, I own a Trek right now.
That's right.
That said, I did not set out to buy a Trek. It was just like, I need an e-road bike that I can commute on because I'm not fit enough to do 50 miles every single day back and forth to work.
I would, if somebody gave me a deal on a Trek road bike, I'd probably ride it. I wouldn't be excited about it. I wouldn't get
the same-
excited to throw my leg over it.
So that's the same thing I have with Specialized also. It's like I have
Yes.
a Specialized right now,
Right.
and I have a Trek.
The problem with Specialized
I don't
is they're charging Ferrari dollar for their flagship model, and
Meh.
they don't give me that experience.
We can get to that later. I have a lot to say.
Okay, we have a big
about-
list to get
about
to.
high-end shit.
Right.
Both Specialized and Trek, I'm gonna go ahead and put as a B because I'm gonna give Trek a B. I'm gonna give Specialized a C because Trek doesn't
Specialized below Trek.
on ethics reasons, not on product reasons.
Okay.
I don't like corporate bullying and patent trolling and all that shit. Nah.
Yeah, because a lot of people say let's separate those things, but they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, it's like
You're writing an experience. You're writing part of a.
You're still voting with your wallet on somebody's
And cycling
business.
is kind of like a communal sport, and it has a culture and everything. So it's pretty hard to isolate that.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I think I'm caught up on that then.
Tangent, Carl.
Wait, Canyon?
Oh, Canyon.
Oh yeah. By the way.
I think I'm gonna go between Specialized and Trek on that. I'm gonna go with a B minus. I'm
That
not
far down. You're not that
No,
excited about it.
I think the bikes are good.
Yeah.
I think the last gen Aero, they had a bunch of recalls and a bunch of stuff that to me kind of hurt the standing of the brand in my opinion.
Okay.
The other thing is whenever, like, you texted me or called me the other day about a bike for your brother. Bang for the buck, they have great stuff.
Right.
Their availability is dog shit. And
I think because they're selling out because a lot of people like them.
that's awesome.
Kind of a good problem.
That's awesome, and I'm happy they've not fallen into the trap of like
Right.
over ordering from COVID and all that stuff. But it's really hard to recommend them when every time I've tried to recommend them, no one can actually make a purchase.
Okay,
And then
I understand where you're going with that. I don't know if that's
okay. Here's the other side of it.
okay.
The other thing is if you need parts for your Canyon,
Oh,
they will arbitrarily just not sell them.
yeah.
Like, tell me about stems, RJ. What if you need a different size stem?
I don't need a different size.
That's fortunate for you because they don't have any other ones.
Oh my gosh, he dodged that. All right, let's move on.
Alrighty. Cannondale.
A little bit more than Trek, and because I appreciate that they try different things. They don't always succeed, but they don't try to shove it down your throat as like this is the best thing since bike. They're saying we make alternatives and we're just looking for our own little niche.
Okay. Yeah,
We're carving out our own
they're the
little niche.
scrappy American brand.
They're not saying like we are absolutely the best and we're going to change the standard in the industry. They're just saying we're just making something a little different because we know people like options.
The lefty.
The lefty. Yeah. That's a good fork though.
Yeah, which they don't sell in the U.S. anymore. But it comes stock on their bike in Europe.
Yeah, I mean it works good. It runs on needle bearings. It's really really smooth. It's stiff. It works. They're not that light.
So what's the letter grade?
Okay. B plus.
Okay. RJ, where are we at?
C, average.
Yeah, go and see also.
Okay. Let's move on. Which leads us to.
This will be a fun one. Cipollini.
Oh my gosh.
The official bike of
I think that's the
spousal
most
abuse. The fact that this brand
that too.
continues.
Isn't that the same thing?
What?
Two hubs and spousal abuse.
No.
I did not say that. You guys did.
I didn't say it.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Didn't think RJ would be the one stirring the pot with the big spoon
He's
today,
been
but
drinking since 3 a.m.
fair enough. Yeah, no, Cipollini's a brand needs to go away.
It needs to go away. There's nothing good about that bike.
F, okay. Across the
And,
board.
well, and
Stuck the landing, fucking
it's probably
zero.
the most
You wanna talk-
bootlegged bike on AliExpress.
Which makes me wonder if that's not who actually makes it. Because
You're getting the real wholesale price, direct to consumer.
they can't be selling that many units that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But talk about a bike that is like, we're gonna sell a bike based on a name, and then you look at the price.
The concept when it came out was interesting, maybe at the B or C level, and then it went quickly down from there.
Well, I mean, look at bikes named after riders. Where is the Eddie Merckx brand today?
Yeah. Or Le Mans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. We'll agree on something.
Copy.
All right.
Faust
How
and
about look?
B minus.
A lot of snowmen.
No, I gave worse to. Okay.
Where are you at on look, RJ?
I haven't ridden a look, but
I've heard they ride really comfortable.
I've heard they were right great. I don't get excited at the same time
I
though.
don't get excited. Yeah.
I'll ride like pedals. That's about as far as I go.
Maybe a C.
Okay, yeah, I'd give it a.
I think they're better than a C, only because they have a little bit of exclusivity and like kind of interesting. Not much more, but a
integration.
C is.
I feel like I was gonna give them a B minus.
Okay. Yeah, I'm around there.
I feel like they've done a lot of like
interesting
weird
stuff
French
30 years
innovation.
ago. And they're still trying to say they're doing a lot of innovative stuff, but nobody cares, and that was 30 years ago.
Fair enough. All right, we got Giant. Can I just say it?
Yes.
No one lusts after a Giant, but no one would turn one down.
Giant and Trek are almost on the same level for me.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I'd say Trek has more like gung ho fans.
To you,
No, just like observing.
I don't agree with that. There are people who like Giants.
Can we get Pablo on the phone?
I think Giants ride great. They are one of the best riding bikes out.
I would hope so. They make most of them.
Right. And I put Trek right there with it. Right?
But
I'm
my
sure
thing
Trek's
is,
ride good too.
You've got all the crusty old dudes who are still like, Lance is the greatest cyclist ever. And they're still obsessed with their Trek Madonna.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I don't see people who are that, like, jazzed about, going out and evangelizing for
I think Giants here, and then you have the gung-ho Trek guys that are old and crusty, and then there's the guys down here that offset it, so it's like right about the same.
Fair enough.
Okay. I give it a C.
Okay, yeah, I'd give it a C. I feel like.
I think it work. I think they work. I would, if somebody said you had to race, I'd be like, I could ride it. I could race a Giant.
Yeah,
That's a C.
I'd have no problem with a Giant.
I'd have no problem with throwing my leg over a Giant and going like, I'm gonna throw elbows at 40 miles an hour with somebody and be okay with that on a Giant.
And I feel like from a build quality perspective, they're solid.
Yes.
Not the best,
Right.
but there's nothing wrong with them.
And then they come out with their own brand of wheels because.
But so did everybody else.
Yeah, totally. I
Fucking
don't know where.
Specialized, Trek,
Yeah.
everybody has.
Okay, so let's move on.
Alrighty, Scott.
Only slightly better
Then what?
than Giant.
Really?
I think they do better stuff and a little bit more exciting, but not a lot more exciting.
RJ?
B minus.
Yeah, B minus.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd give him a B.
I would work.
Being
Same
honest.
thing. I'd like to ride it. I think they would do the job great and everything, but I don't go for the. Wow, look at that bike! I want to throw my leg over that thing and go take it out for a ride.
All right, here's one to me that's a little bit more exciting than a Scott. BMC.
I give them a
they're-
little bit more.
I feel like they're underrated.
That's a strong word. That's implying that they're better than you think they are.
Well, then it really just depends on what you think they are.
I just think they're a B plus.
Okay, but that puts them above a Specialized or a Trek on your list.
Yes,
Okay, but not quite an A.
correct.
Okay.
B minus.
Okay.
I'd put them an A minus.
Oh,
I've built a couple of them for a few friends of mine. They've always gone together nice.
I bet.
The build quality is good.
I don't doubt it.
I like the looks of them.
So is a Giant.
I don't particularly like the design language of Giant.
Yeah, they look a little bit sharper. Their silhouette and their top tube forms and all that stuff.
They're kind of very Audi to me.
Okay, that's a good analogy. I'll get on board with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You're solid. You go, okay, it turns your head, but not a lot.
it's
You don't rubberneck, but you turn your head to look at it. Like, that's a cool bike.
Yeah. No, you don't look at a guy in a BMC and just think, who the fuck buys that?
Right.
But also you're like, where the fuck did he buy that?
Yeah.
Because who sells them?
right.
Alrighty. Speaking of one where nobody sells it, LaPierre.
Ooh. I'm going to give that one a D.
Okay, that's an honest.
That's an honest D. I mean,
I'm with Carl on that.
there was a time where I was like, what is that bike about? And then I looked farther and I'm like,
Oh, it's French.
that's not good.
It's like a French GT.
It's like
no.
yeah, and it's like at first I was interested because I just didn't know much about the brand, and I see it at the Tour de France and stuff, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then I look at it and go, not in a good way.
It is one of the most uniquely unattractive bikes.
Exactly, and most bland innovation.
There's
Or
innovation?
bland because it's like
It reminds me
doesn't
of
include, like, it's 5 years behind.
like if you took a GT and asked a Frenchman to design it, that's what a LaPierre is to me.
You're going somewhere with GT too.
No, you know the triple triangle thing they did?
They do all kinds of stupid.
But that's what
stuff.
they did. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we got to get through this list.
All right, fuck it. Cervelo.
I like Cervelos.
I'd give him an A.
I'll give them an A.
I'm
I've not seen.
I think they're great. They look weird.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I also rubberneck to the point where I'm like, I kind of like it. I'm not like crazy about it, but I'm like, those are pretty cool.
Company's done. They've always been super cool. I've never seen them suing people unnecessarily. I know they had some issues with some QC years and years ago. But
it's far enough behind them.
Yeah, all the new stuff has been solid from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't on board with that triangle thing where they go on their handlebar.
the S5 stem, yeah.
The S5 stem. And I thought it was a bunch of marketing hoopla, but everybody rides them, says, oh, it's because I thought it would be like a stiff plank. Like, that's the worst thing.
No, it's super comfortable.
And the thing is, like, I thought like that might compromise your hand position and stuff because it might interfere with the top tube and everything. But everybody that rides them loves it.
And even when you have to build one of those bikes, the routing through that is super easy.
Yeah. So I've never heard anything that actually somebody owns one says anything bad about it. And I like the way they look. They seem to do everything good. They're light. They do everything compliant, the whole bit. Like, I'm backing them.
Okay.
I'd ride one in a second.
Alrighty. Colnago. Oh, wait.
You know
so
how
you got,
I feel about that.
So you got an A on Cervelo. You?
A.
Okay. Okay. I'd give him an A also. Colnago.
I'm borderline A and an S.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Expand.
It's lost a little bit. Like, they would be an S back in the day when everything was handcrafted and everything was in Italy. But now everybody knows it. Their top-of-line bikes are China, so they've lost a little bit of that.
But you still have Italian made with the C series, and then also.
And I'm not buying that. It's like, it's not doing anything
literally what you
better.
ride.
No, I don't.
Don't you have a Colnago? Oh, you have a V, don't you?
Yeah, I have a V.
Ah, okay. I thought you had a C.
So I have the China version, and the price difference is like they're trying. It's almost like can't be. They're trying to sell you. They're trying to sell you something that costs a lot more that does a lot less. You know,
It doesn't do a lot less. It just doesn't do more.
Yeah, it doesn't do more, and they're trying to justify it like, oh, it's way better and everything. Well, if it's that much better, then how come all your pros and everything are on that other bike?
It's a high end.
That's like a 20-30% less in price, and it's made in China and everything. You know, they're making this lugged bike that's very exclusive and everything. It's supposed to have this great ride and everything.
Oh, the new steel one?
What?
It's like their new steel one.
Yeah, but it doesn't
You don't want to
translate
spend
into carbon.
$20,000 on it?
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Like,
they're the high end watch of cycling to me.
There's a chink that's coming off its armor, and it's like they're no longer an S, they're an A. They still have like the Master X Lite and everything steel bikes, which is keeping them up there, but that's not enough to support it. But their highest end race bikes that they ride, I think they're really, really good. They just don't have that. I don't know if they'll ever be able to get that because that doesn't really exist, and that's what they're trying to claim. So
I'm gonna give them a B.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give them a B just because I feel like there's a lot of relying on the name.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much the name is really worth to the non-clout chaser crowd.
I think their bikes ride really good, but the bike I'm riding now,
no problem with the bike.
Yeah, and I think that backs it up though. I think they ride well enough where you're like, okay, when I get on one, I'm like, I get it. Mm-hmm. But they've lost a little bit. Like their marketing and everything with, you know, their logos changed into something that's not recognizable. Like their down tube and everything, like the Colnago name and everything's changed.
If it weren't for Pogacar, you would not be an A.
No, I would. I don't think that has too much to do with it.
RJ.
B.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I give him a B also. I appreciate the history, but I feel like they're not. Innovation
what they were
is not what they're.
But that's for me it used to be an S, now it's an A, so it has gone down.
Okay, and for me, I guess it would have been an A. Now
it's a B. Okay. I'll give you that.
Alrighty. We'll do two more and call it. Let's see. You do something smaller or something more popular?
Whatever you want.
BH.
You want to take this one, RJ?
I'd say C. Yeah, kind of average.
I'm gonna give that one a
nice
D.
light bikes. But
Really? I've seen one ever.
I've seen a couple.
I've
French
seen
guy
a
riding
couple. That was a few years. I haven't seen any in the last couple years.
C it is.
I give it a D. I think they're below. They're right there with LaPierre.
Okay.
Like boring.
Okay.
Boring.
Okay. I'll give you that. Then we got Pinarello.
A B.
I wanted to dislike him.
You ride one.
I wanted to dislike it. And sadly, I fucking love the thing.
I don't doubt it rides really, really well.
It is, for me, it is like the Ferris Bueller.
There's a few things that bring it down to a B for me. I think it would be an A if I just isolated the bike that they have out right now and said, what do you think of this bike? That's an A. What gives it a B is the wavy fork that they said makes it the most compliant fork in the world.
They've kind of got away from that, though.
Right, but they claimed it.
Okay, fine.
And now it's like, it kind of has like a wave to it, but it's not. So what happened to the best fork in the world? What happened to Zert sensors? You know? And then the whole thing about like,
Carl
this is the best bike in the world and everything, but our pros are going to buy a lighter version.
Yeah, I could see that.
See?
Carl does not forgive. Carl does not forget.
No, but what they're saying is completely different than what the pros are writing.
You're talking about the so when Pinarello had that other
their bikes were heavy. The pros aren't even riding their production
They
bikes.
had the X-Lite version, I think it was.
Then they came out of that as a response because they were getting such a bad reputation. But you're paying $10,000 million for this bike, and you don't even get what the pros are writing.
Okay.
You know, that kind of stuff. And then they try to band-aid. Oh, we get the X-Lite version.
I just assume that all of the pro teams have something going on like that.
I don't think so.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, Colnago's like riding their off-the-shelf bike.
I mean, Pogacar was on a prototype version of a V4 RS for a whole year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a development and everything, but Pinarello was straight up like years and years and years. Like our pros are writing something completely different. But we're not even we're gonna try to hide it, but we're gonna charge you.
It's very Italian.
Yeah. Like that kind of BS that like, I'm seeing through that. Zerts insert.
It's very Italian.
Anyways, let's wrap this up.
Alrighty, last one we'll do is Factor.
A.
How did you rate? Okay, wait. You had a Factor.
Yes.
You didn't even have a top tier one. You didn't like it. You didn't like it.
You didn't like.
If I hadn't bought the Canyon,
and then you got a Canyon that you've rated lower than the bike that you didn't like.
I would have bought the Astra van, but it was 10 G's, so couldn't afford it.
I remember when they were starting to make a wave. They made a sprinter's bike that was actually really light. It had the
split down tube.
Split down tube, and then they told you couldn't sit on the top tube because it could crush it. But then it was like 800 grams.
They still say that about the Ostrovam to this day.
I mean, it's a pretty cool. No, I shouldn't say that's a bad word. It's an interesting bike.
They did get rid of the split down tube.
I know.
But it's the best
same thing.
Why is Zerts
It's the best thing. This is going to revolutionize. It's a Zerts insert.
It's the lightest aeroist climbing bike ever.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Zerts inserts.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So you're going with an A.
Yeah.
Okay. That's strong.
I'm going to go from a B.
If I had 10 G's, I'd have bought one.
I'm going to go from back in the day when Frim was riding a B plus down to now to a C plus. I think their current offerings have the brand's slipping.
I think from a product perspective, it's probably one of the best bikes you can buy.
Okay, so is a Giant.
But I
Okay.
but I just don't know where the hell I would like. It's a lot of social media push on it, and I don't feel like there's any support at an actual
I think it's a process of
bike shop
elimination.
level.
I think it's a good bike, but it's process of elimination. How is it going to be the bike you buy?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'd give him a B plus.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's all we got.
That's a good list.
I mean, there's more on here, but
you did mention GT.
Oh yeah, GT. Where are you at on GT?
My gosh,
It's a backwards.
That's an F, and it's backwards.
I've had a GT before.
I think I'm a little bit swayed because I think their downhill bike is pretty good. When I say pretty good, for GT. It's
So
good
I don't
for
know.
GT,
So I know nothing about the brand.
and that's why I'm swayed.
Okay.
I think they're a good mainstream brand when you compare it to like
Weren't they completely dead for the last like 5 years.
Nah.
Yes.
Not for X.
They did a lot of interesting stuff, and that same thing, Zertz inserts.
Yeah.
Like that, what is the iDrive and everything on the mountain bikes?
But you also gave Cannondale credit for their version of Zertz inserts.
But they don't claim it's the best thing in the since sliced bread. They're just saying we're going to unabashedly do something our own thing.
Okay, so you just like weirdness for the sake of weird, as long as you don't try and say it's better than everybody else.
Oh, just interesting. It's like Alfa Romeo makes a cool car. It's not better than other cars. They just make a cool car.
That's because their big brother Ferrari wouldn't let them say it's anything better than.
Yeah, where Ferrari's like, we make the best car.
We will beat you up.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, that's enough of that.
That's definitely enough of that.
This is whoa, dear Lord, that time is.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Apologies.
That might be 2 parts.
Subscribe and like, and maybe we'll have to edit some of this down to some reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
45 minutes, right?
Totally.
Yeah, we're at 41.
41.
No, I started this after a couple minutes.
Oh my God. thoughts and prayers for Carl.
The camera stopped at 30.
Maybe.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways,
Well,
see you guys next time.
pray for us.
Like and subscribe, and we're out of here.
Bye.
Thank goodness.